Good morning, magandang umaga po. Today we will talk about one email, or maybe it's a comment in one of my videos that I saw that sort of bothered me. We'll talk about it. It has something to do with the protocol in the Philippines. Please stay with me. I have been hearing about the quality of the so-called authorized quarantine hotels in the Philippines. The government designates which hotels qualify to be a quarantine hotel. What are the requirements? Has this been published? I don't know. I'm not saying it hasn't been, but I'm not aware of one. Also, even if it was published and they have a so-called requirement, are they constantly being inspected to be sure they're in compliance? This comment I received bothered me a lot. I thought maybe it's as simple as, of course, once in a while there's something, maintenance is not being done, but not constantly. Maybe sometimes food is not good, but not constantly. And maybe the guests are not constantly being maltreated. Let me read this to you. And towards the end, I would like you to please give me your comment. If you had a good experience, please do share it with us, because I don't want to be a basher of the government policies or enforcement, I should say. And let's take a look at it to begin with, and you will realize what I felt. This came from Dragon Kid 14 hours ago, so I guess it was a comment. And for those who can read or speak Tagalog, just go ahead and read it. I will try to translate it into English for people who do not speak Tagalog. Wish me luck. Okay. I'm a dual citizen, and I spent 10 days in the hotel. I spent 15,000 pesos, I guess that's pesos, in a hotel, and 1,000 a day for food. When we got home, or when we went home, my money was gone. It is not true that it is free. OFWs are the only ones with no payment, but the ROF, returning overseas Filipinos, will have to pay. And my room has a lot of roach. At night, you will see roaches playing around the room. They say it's sanitized, but how about the roaches and boobwit? I don't know what boobwit is, who shares the leftover food with us. It's so hard to complete 10 days, especially if you are a senior citizen, when you have to go out in order to breathe some fresh air. Naninigaw ang bantay. And the watchers or the security are yelling. The security at the hotel are yelling, and they have no manners to the people who are under quarantine. Food is no good, that they just cook one way or the other, and there is no coffee. Oh, it's so expensive, this useless quarantine protocol. Even though you're already vaccinated, they still give you a hard time. Sorry guys, I'm a little bit rusty, so I'm having difficulty reading this. The experts who designed these protocols are not medical doctors. as they say they are. Medical experts of ITF are military people, not doctors. They should try being imprisoned for 10 days in a room that is not sanitized with lots of roaches and boob breath. I'm sure that their head is gonna go crazy. It's not called quarantine. Bartolina ako ng 10 days. I'm imprisoned for 10 days. I'm not sure about the word Bartolina, but I think that's like being imprisoned. I am imprisoned for 10 days without fresh air, without someone in the room, company, and has roaches and, oh, there's a boob with small mouse. Roaches and small mouse, or small mice. So, if you are a US citizen and a dual citizen, do not plan on going home. Your brain may be okay, but when you get out of the 10-day, you are crazy by the time you get back to your loved ones. Thank you. I experienced this as a senior citizen. So basically what we're saying here is the writer is a senior citizen. He was required to quarantine for 10 days, stayed in the hotel, and the hotel is infested with roaches and mice. And they're not allowed to go out, and if they go out, the security yells at them and they're being maltreated. What kind of quarantine is that? Is our government inspecting these hotels at all? Is there any penalty being imposed? Are corrections being made for anybody who violates human rights? That's what I'm worried about, human rights. I can understand that the government will impose protocols and such. After all, it's not only the Philippines who's doing this. But in other countries, I don't know if the other countries do pay for the hotel themselves, or maybe it's not a hotel, maybe it's a real quarantine room or something. I don't know that, but I don't know the quality either. But nevertheless, this is a violation of human right. I'm not questioning the 10-day protocol. I'm questioning the way people are treated and the kind of condition they're put into. That's a very sad story, very sad story. And even if this is only one hotel is plenty. One hotel is more than zero. But my question is, in all likelihood, there are more hotels, because I've heard other people say the same thing, and they possibly are not going to be staying in the same hotel. So I'll appreciate it. I'm thinking of doing a survey, but let's not do a survey. Just put in the comment section if you experience something similar, and also, more importantly, if you experience something good, because people who get maltreated usually complain. So you'll hear a lot of those. But people who are treated nicely, they don't say anything because they're happy. So I'll appreciate it if you can put in the comment section if you experienced the same thing, if you did not, if you were treated more nicely, rooms clean, and things like that. So we will know how prevalent these conditions are. So I'll appreciate it if you can pass this along with some of the people you know who may have gone home also and may have experienced this quarantine, and do share it for people to know. Not only people, but hopefully the government will see this and will know what's going on. The problem I have with the government is they're so focused on who can come in, who cannot come in, 10-day quarantine, who's quarantined, and so forth and so on. Now, separate from that, they have a line of people here, or hotel owners, who are saying, yeah, we want to be qualified for that, because obviously it's a good opportunity for them, even if it's at a reduced price, and sometimes they're even inflating it. So they're lined up, and the government approves them, and I don't know the rationale for the approval. Are they given a requirement that they will be subject to inspection and such? Okay? I don't know. I don't know what's being done, but their focus, that's always what I hear, is quarantine, 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 entry, 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 entry. What is being done about that? Also, how about the vaccine? I know Pfizer, I heard Pfizer came to the Philippines, but Philippines was not able to get Pfizer because it's too expensive, they say, and so forth and so on. They got Sinovac. Why? Because it's free. It's donated by China and Sinopharm. But they're not focusing on really how to get this vaccine, even if it's a little bit more expensive than the others, okay? Because one is stateside, the other one is made in China. You get what you pay for. Look at how much it's costing them with all these protocols and such, all these restrictions and such, costing them a lot more. You know what they say? A penny smart, but a pound foolish. That applies here. We really should focus on vaccination. How to get the information we need to be able to verify if a person or individual has been vaccinated or not. That should be where the focus is. Now, I'm not saying they're not doing anything. I'm sure they're doing something. But it's very slow process. Now, I don't blame the Philippines for that, because even the foreign countries are so busy. But I wish somebody will come up with something that will be internationally approved, so that each and every country is not struggling how to handle this thing. I'm really praying that this pandemic will be, number one, over, or if it's going to be here for an extended period of time, that at least we should be a little bit more organized and people should not be treated this way. So thank you very much for watching, guys. I'll appreciate it if you can share this with other people you know, and make it a great day. God bless.